Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. So this is week 5 of the hashtag 52 projects. Just the same as the other projects. This is basically just fun projects for you to follow along with and hopefully keep your crafty mojo flowing. These are just for you to make on your own. Hopefully you enjoy these. We have projects that I found interesting on Pinterest and on YouTube, and ones that I came up by myself. Um, so again, we'll post these every Monday. You just do them at your leisure. Okay, so this week is a project that I came up with a while ago. It is inspired by, I think it was Lori Whitlock cutting SVG on, I saw it on Pinterest, but it's also on the Cameo Silhouette Design store. It was $3.99. I didn't want to pay $3.99, and so I just made it myself. It's very easy, super fun. We're gonna make it. I love it. It's just a little box to organize, like little trinkets. The one that I'm making, I'm gonna actually leave it on my desk, and I'm gonna put. I have 3 different size brads, and I use a lot of brads for my flowers, mainly for my flowers. And so I'm gonna put the 3 different size brads in there. And in the top, I'm going to put I have these glue dots that are just loose. It's like one glue dot on a thing. So I'm gonna put them in there and some other stuff in there. So let's go ahead and make this. Okay, so first you're gonna need to make your boxes. Your boxes are gonna come out like this. Maybe. I kind of didn't let my glue dry, so I think this one might be stuck together. Oopsies. So anyway, so your boxes are gonna come out like this. What you need are 12 sheets of 6x6 cardstock. The first one, I just used some regular Michaels cardstock, the 65-pound weight. This time I used the cardstock that's a little bit heavier just because I had it in 12 by 12 sheets. So however you want to do it, you can do use the 8.5 by 11, or you can use the 12 by 12. Now the 8.5 by 11, that will give you some scraps that you could actually use for some of the parts, like the side parts are really good with the 8.5 by 11 scraps. But like I said, I used the 12 by 12 for this time. So go ahead and cut your pages 6 by 6. And you're going to need your scoreboard or whatever you use to score with right now. Okay, so I'm just going to use on the little mini score pal that I have somewhere. Here it is. Okay, so for the bottom pieces, you're going to score your paper at 2 and 4. Okay, you're going to flip it around and you're going to do it again. 2 and 4. Okay, so go ahead and score 6 of your pieces at 2 and 4 on 2 sides. So 2, 4, 2 and 4, flip it, 2 and 4. Go ahead and do that 6 times and then come back. Okay, so you should have all of your bottom pieces scored. Go ahead and put those off to the side. I keep my bottom pieces on the right, my lid pieces on the left, since I'm doing the same color. This one I kind of cheated and already scored it on my big scoreboard because I can't really get the 1/8 of an inch on the score buddy. So what you're going to do with the lid piece, now this is very, very important. We're going to go slow with this part. It's very, very important, okay? No matter what scoreboard you're using or your paper trimmer, whatever you're using, you need to pull the paper to the right about 1/8 of an inch. So see how it's not all the way up? It's all the way up. Now it's not. All the way up. Now it's not. You need to pull it out that 1/8 of an inch. Okay? If you have the Martha Stewart scoreboard, they have already done that for you. And that's this little star, the triangle here. So you'll pull your paper out to that triangle, which is just slightly under 1/8, but I don't know if you can see that. See how the triangle, it's not flush up against So if the Martha Stewart one, line it up with the triangle. If you're using any other scoreboard, just pull it out that 1/8 of an inch, okay? So if it's flush, pull it out, okay? Then we're gonna go ahead and score at 2 and 4 1/8, okay? We're gonna turn it around and we're gonna pull it out that 1/8 of an inch. So see, mine's out, flush, out. And again, we're gonna hit it at 2 and 4 1/8, okay? So, well, don't mind that top measurement thing because that was something else. So the lid, 2 and 4/8. Move it to the right, 2 and 4 1/8. Okay, that's very important. So pull it out to the right, 2 and 4 1/8. Flip it, pull it out to the right, 2 and 4 1/8. Okay. Now go ahead and do that to all of your lids. Pull it out to the right, 2, 4 1/8. Flip it, pull it out to the right, 2, 4 1/8. Go ahead and do that to all your lids and then come back. Okay. So now we're good. Now we're going to go ahead, I'm going to work with the lid first. So we're going to go ahead and varnish all of our lines. Okay. Now the lids, they don't always match up because you're not going to pull it out to the exact same spot every single time, even if you are using the Martha Stewart one. So your lid is going to be slightly, I don't know if you can see it on the black. Yeah, you can see it. It's going to be slightly off. It's fine. It's not going to matter. Your OCD is not going to worry about it. It's going to be slightly off. That's just the nature of the beast. Okay, so I like to look at my lid paper, and I may have done this different on the original video. I will link the original video, so sometimes watching it multiple times, you'll get it easier. The original video, I did all the boxes on camera. I'm only going to do the one here because I'm trying to keep down on the time right now. But if you need, to see it more than just what I told you, definitely see the other video. Okay, so I like to look at the lid. This is just for the lid. Now, these middle pieces where my scissors are pointing, they seem bigger to me, and so I'm going to use those as my flats. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut on the score line on this piece, and I'm going to cut on the score line on that piece. Okay, I'm going to flip it to the opposite side and do the same thing. It doesn't matter, honestly, where you cut, as long as you do it on the opposite sides. The reason why I picked the one that looks bigger is because when you put your box together, the ones that look bigger, it usually matches up better, if that makes sense. Okay. So what I like to do on the lid, I like to put the left side, then the right side, and then the middle flat. It's a little different on the bottom part, but this is how I like to do it on the right, on the lid. I'm going to use glue. You can use score tape if you want. Now, it's not going to match all the way up on the side, as you can see that, because they're slightly off, but that's why we have our flat. And we're going to cover that up. Okay. And now mine, because I did not cut exactly on the score line, I have a tiny bit of overhang. You can snip it with scissors. It's not going to matter. I'm not snipping mine. Again, I'm going to do left, right, flat. And see, okay, this one is a perfect example. See how it doesn't line up? It's fine. If you want, you can chop that off. I might chop mine off. We'll see how I feel. Do not stress over these boxes because you won't see it. See? You cannot tell that any of my boxes were off. So don't stress. It's okay. And then do my flap. And again, I did the boxes, a lot of the boxes on the other video. I'm only going to do the one on this one. You know, that one I do want to chop, just to show you how easy it is. That's it. Just chop it. It's fine. And again, if you see, this one has a tiny bit of overhang. If you want, chop it. If not, leave alone. It doesn't matter. This tiny little smidge bit is not going to affect anything. Okay, so there's our lid. It's done. See how quickly these can go if you're not talking. So again, we're going to go ahead and varnish our box. And now this one, the bottom is, they're all 2x2, so you're not going to have a bigger one or a smaller one. Just cut exactly on that score line and flip it to the opposite side and cut on that score line again. As you can see, I'm not taking any chunks out. You can, but then you have to be really, really careful and precise, and I'm not doing that. So this one, I like the left flap to go on top. I don't know, I think it looks better, even though they're all supposed to be the same. But for the bottom part, I put the middle flap in, I put the right side down, and I put the left side on top. In the video, I probably did the opposite because it really doesn't matter. I promise, it does not matter. This is just me being me. You know how sometimes we have our crafty quirks and then you go to do it again a few years later and your crafty quirk has changed. So however you put it together, it's fine. You're going to cover it. You're not going to see it. Okay? So there's my bottom. Again, you see how mine is slightly off? Leave it or chop it. I'm only chopping because I want people who have to have it chopped, I want them to see that it's very easy just to chop it so they don't stress over, you know, perfection. It's not a stress. I'm not a stress crafter. Okay, so this is my bottom, this is my lid, and voila, that's it. Okay, so except for our boxes are going to be, the lid is going to be this way, and your bottom opening is going to face up inside. Okay, what I like to do to give it some stability is whatever, so you see how you have the three flaps that were together and these sides are kind of thin. That, you know, it's just going to be that way. What I like to do is put the opposite inside. So here's my three, you know, my flaps, the thicker 3-layer, and these are my 1-layer. So I'm just going to put it that way, if that makes sense. If not, it might explain it better on the other video. And again, that's not going to, it's not this one. Actually, I did the opposite. I made my 3 flaps on the sides. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Okay, so at this point, you are halfway done. Let me just turn all of my boxes to where the bottom box is facing up. Actually, no, I think this is the box that I ruined. Yeah, that one I mismeasured. Let me use this one instead. I had to make an extra one because one I messed up. Okay. Okay. So now all of my boxes are face up to whichever way you like it. If you like the, yeah, I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, however you want your boxes. Now when I'm doing this part of it, so you see how there's 2 rows. When I'm making my rows, this one's already complete. I like to have the flaps on top and on bottom. So that way it's a little bit more sturdy. Like I said, it honestly, I don't think it matters, but that's just what I'm going to do. So very carefully, I'm going to put the glue. I say very carefully and I just completely missed. I'm going to glue the 3 boxes together. I'm actually going to take my boxes out, my bottom box out, because I went a little crazy with the glue. Just kind of line them up as best as you can. They may or may not be perfect. See how mine has a little gap? I'm not worried about it. Not worried at all. Okay. And this one, the only reason I flipped it around because that's completely off. So I'm just going to put that on the bottom. Again, it doesn't matter, but I know we have a lot of precise crafters that would bother them. They would know it's there and they can't handle it. So okay. Use your clips to hold them in if you need to. This time I didn't need them. Okay. All right, so we have our boxes and we let them completely dry. You have 2 rows of 3, and you can do these as many rows, or if you just want 4 boxes, and do 4 boxes. If you just want a set of 2, do a set of 2. If you want 12 boxes, whatever you want, you know, just keep making boxes and stacking them up. Okay, so next thing all you have to do is now glue them on top of each other like so. This point you can put another, if you want to, you can put a piece of cardstock just to kind of make it even. I can't remember if I did that on the first video or not, but this one, I'm just going to glue them on top of each other. So just making sure you have your boxes the right way and glue it on top of each other. And I'm just going to line up the fronts. This is where the glue is really good because you see how I needed some wiggle room because I didn't line up the front. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and let this dry. I took my boxes out just so I could really get in there and make sure that's adhered. And then you have something that looks like this. Now this is even a fun tray. So if you don't even want the boxes, you can just do it just like this. I don't know why. Okay, that was weird. I think it's my lighting. Weird. It's making it look weird. Sorry. Okay. So you can even use this as a little tray if you need to put like your seed beads or whatever you want. This is a really cute tray. You could be done with it. But that's not what we're doing today. So at this point, I'm going to leave my boxes out. And we're just going to make the base for this. So all I did was take scraps and glue them on. The exact measurements are 2 inches. I have a whole pack of scrap black, so I'm just going to use scrap black. You can use different colors if you want at this point. I'm just going to pull out this piece. It's 2 inches by, I think, 6 and, let me see, and a 1/16 before the 1/2 inch mark. But this is what I'm going to do because I'm not going to try to make that measurement. I'm just going to cut this down to 2 inches by 6.5, and then we can always just chop off that extra little bit if we want. So you're going to need enough 2-inch strips to cover the sides. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you could probably get, if you're using a 12 by 12 piece of paper, you only need 3 strips that are 2 inches by 12. If you're using 8.5 by 11, just use those scraps that you chopped off. Okay. Okay, so I said I was going to do mine 6.5. You could even do 7. You could, basically all I'm going to do is glue it down like this. And then I'm going to chop off any excess. That's all I'm going to do. It's really up to you how you want to do it. To me, that's just easier to chop off that 1/16 of an inch. Oh, and actually, you know what? I have enough to do the sides as well. So you only need 2 by 2 strips if you're using the 12 by 12 paper. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and you can also cover the back. I did the back just so it looks really nice. Which I think I am going to do that for this too. So we know this is going to be 4 inches by something. So it's actually 4 1/4 by that weird almost 6.5. So let's go back in our scrap pile. And we're going to do, you can even cover that with the designer paper you're going to use. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm using the birdsong paper, which is my absolute favorite, and I cut it to 4 1/4 by whatever, this is like 7 inches, I think. It was in my scrap stash. You can do this part with cardstock. You can do it with the pattern paper. You do it with duct tape if you want to have like if you have like that fun duct tape, that'd be cool. All right, so 4 1/4, and this time I'm not leaving a border. Normally I do. I just didn't want to leave a border because then you will see like the lines. Okay, so my paper's on there. And again, so I didn't have to do that wonky measurement. I just left that, and I'm just going to take my scissors and chomp it right up against my cardstock. That's all I'm doing. Perfect. And just make sure that glue catches. There we go. And now I have to be careful because this is definitely directional paper, so you want to be directional. Now, I could just do the pattern paper on the tops and the sides, but I think I want it to be a little bit more sturdy, so I am going to do the cardstock first. And then if I just decide to decorate it, then I'll decorate it. It looks nice without it being decorated. This one I only decorated the top. It still looks really good. So again, we're just gonna, and only reason why we're putting anything on top and bottom is to kind of cover these little, the different boxes, the lines, and to make it a little bit more sturdy because the top and the sides don't have all of the layers from the when we put the flaps together, if that makes sense. Clear as mud, right? Okay, so we're going to adhere that, and then see how little bit is left because we did 6.5. It is like this tiny sliver. So there you go. Okay, so just making sure all of that's on. It's perfect. And we're going to do the same for the bottom. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and put that on there. Make sure it's glued. All right, it's completely adhered, and we're going to chop off that little bit. Okay. Same thing for both the sides. We're going to just glue. These are cute for advent calendars as well. You can just keep stacking. Okay. Make sure that's lined up. I went ahead and glued both sides because, I mean, you guys don't have to watch both sides. And we're going to cut off that excess and cut off the excess. And now you're going to go ahead and do your other side. So you can just pause the video real quick and do your other side. Okay, and any unwanted overhang, just chomp off. I think mine looks pretty good. I don't have any overhang. Oh, I didn't glue that down good enough. Now, I've seen people who, they made it last, I think, whatever year I made this, and they did really cute, like they put those metal book corners on here. So there's like several different examples people did them. They were super cool. Now we just put our boxes back in. Again, we're just going to make sure that our openings are facing up. And you're going to put your boxes back in if you want to do that now, or if actually you can decorate. For this one, I used 1 7/8 by 1 7/8 paper, and then I had like these little cut apart, so they're a little smaller. So I used that little cut apart. I used a 3/4 inch circle punch to make the little finger pulls. You don't have to have finger pulls if you don't want to. I mean, they easily come out. There's just enough room that you can pull them out. But I like the circle. So however you want to decorate yours, that's how you're going to decorate it. I'll decorate mine real quick and then be right back. Okay, so I want to show you a little oopsie daisy that I did. I did not keep my boxes separated. So this is actually a bottom and this is a lid. It will still work. It's just going to be a little snug on this drawer. So I kind of have to not force it in, but see, watch how easy these go in. You can, you know, 2-finger these ones and just slide it in. This one you cannot do. You gotta hold it and kind of push it in and force it. But like you see, it's not a huge deal. So if you oopsie daisy and get your bottoms and your lids mixed up, it is not going to be a huge deal. You're fine. It's good. So how I do my little pull tabs, I just take the 3/4 punch, I stick it in, make sure it's even on both sides, and I just eyeball about halfway and punch out. On this one, I tried to have like that little border, and it didn't work out. It was harder to work with, and so this one I decided not to have that border and to have, you know, just the pull tab. And here's my finished box, because this one's for me. This is my style. I like just a few tiny decorations, but I did go ahead and put the birds on the top. I did the polka dots on the side, which is just the reverse side of the birds. I did a little Life is Sweet word tag, a little flower that I made previously, this other flower that I did, and then I fussy cut out 2 birds from the paper collection and put it on there. So it's super sweet. I love it. Clean and simple. Easy to make. I hope you guys make these. Again, this is week 5. Oh, the other thing I tried to do, I did try to use my brads as drawer pulls, but I have the short prong brads, and so I didn't have enough room to grip them. So if you have like drawer pulls or anything like that, that'll work in there, or you could just use your circle punch and make little finger taps. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Bye.